Hello everybody, this is Monty with Flowers by the Bunch. Today we're going to make a church arrangement for the Presbyterian Church. So this is their liner, and this goes down into a brass urn that they have at the church. I have taken some fresh floral foam, tucked it down in the liner. I have taped it in. I did a crisscross with waterproof tape, and I have filled it with fresh water. I'm going to start out with some Robellini foliage. And I'm just taking my floral knife and cutting that stem at an angle. Now we do church arrangements one-sided because it's really only going to be seen on one side. It usually backs up to the altar. And so we do a one-sided fan-shaped arrangement. And I'm just taking this Robellini and cutting it at an angle and just pushing it right down into that foam. I really like the lacy look of this foliage. I just think it really is a pretty foliage. Okay, I'm going to turn the arrangement around. You see how it's just a pretty fan shape. I'm going to turn the arrangement around and we're going to add some foliage back here on the back. Now it's always important, and if you've watched my videos, you've heard me say time and time again, it's important that you cover up those mechanics in the back. So go ahead and add foliage to cover up that foam. It's just not pretty, and you don't want it to be seen. All right, so there's our greenery. Next we're going to come in, or there's the Robellini foliage. We've got some more greenery to add. Next we're going to come in with, let's see what we've got next in our foliage. Try not to throw everything on the floor. Okay. I have got some painted Israeli ruscus. So Israeli ruscus is a natural green, but we get it sometimes in the fall, we get it painted. And so this is kind of a golden yellow, which I really like. I like the painted foliage. Some people might not, and it's okay if you don't. But I think it really gives us that pretty fall look for very inexpensive. So it's less expensive to purchase this painted Israeli ruscus than it is to purchase like preserved oak leaves. And this comes in we actually get this from a company called Budsy, where we get most of our fresh flowers. And this comes in several colors. It comes in this yellow, it comes in an orange, a burgundy, and then they've painted it green. I'm not sure why they painted it green, but it really does. It really is pretty. This is called Not Gonna. It's a eucalyptus. It is, I'll get it in a second. Parfolia eucalyptus. Those different varieties always throw me a little bit, but it's just a little airy eucalyptus, which I like. I love the look of the mixed ukes in an arrangement, and so this is Parfolia uke. And we get this from a company called G&F Greens. Really pretty stuff. Okay. Next we're going to come in, let's see what else we got. Next we're going to come in with a little solidago. So really what I'm doing is, before I put in all my flowers, I'm adding my pretty greens and my filler. So solidago is a filler flower. We use solidago a whole lot here at our shop. It's inexpensive and it lasts a long time. And you get a lot of bang for your buck when you use solidago. All right, there's our solidago. So you can see how pretty it looks just being greened out. Okay, next we're gonna come in with some, this is called spiral eucalyptus or baby blue euc. Now when you think of eucalyptus and you think of the fragrance of eucalyptus, this is that euc. This is the smell that you smell. This is what you associate that smell with, is this spiral euc. Now it kind of gives us a little bit of a line, so it gives us a pretty line to me. It works really great as a lime flower, and it smells so good. Now this is the eucalyptus that if you're allergic to, like eucalyptus oil, it's this baby blue that you're allergic to usually, because it's sappy and it gets on your hands, so it might cause your hands to break out. So if you are sensitive, you may want to wear gloves when working with baby blue euc. Like my sister Robbie, she breaks out, her hands will break out with eucalyptus, and so she wears gloves if she's working with it a lot. And a lot of times she just doesn't use this, the baby blue, just because it does cause that little bit of breakout. Okay, these are hypericum berries, and hypericum berries come in lots of colors. This is kind of a peachy pink color. They come in a red, a green, a white. They also paint beautifully, a burgundy. And they paint really well. So if you ever needed them to be a different color, you can use a floral paint, or you can even use a department store paint like Walmart or Lowe's or any of those types of paint. It's not going to hurt these berries. But anytime you use that type of paint that's not specific to flowers, you're going to want to only use that on foliages or berries, anything that doesn't have a tender petal, okay? And you're going to always want to get it in a matte color. Don't get a shiny paint. Get it in a matte color. It's just going to look so much better. Sometimes hypericum berries, this foliage doesn't always look pretty. Just go ahead and pull that foliage off. It is not hurting that at all. It's just almost like removing the petals from a rose. If it's got bumps or bruises on the petals, just go ahead and pop those off. Okay, so there's our berries. Next we're going to come in with some kale. So my sweet friend Mary at Petal Row, she actually has a flower farm here in our county, and she grows beautiful flowers. Well, she had an overabundance of kale, so she brought us some beautiful kale, and y'all, it is so pretty. So I'm going to use it as my larger focal flower, and I have 2 of these. So I was going to look and see which one's larger than the other. Really about the same. So I'm going to put one lower and one higher in the arrangement. Cut that stem at an angle. But you should go over to Instagram and check out Mary's page. She has beautiful flowers, and her business is called Petal Row, or her farm is called Petal Row. She is such a sweet friend. We have really become good friends. Okay, so there is our kale. Next we're going to come in with some really pretty orange roses. These roses I have already wired. I like to wire my roses, and the reason is it keeps this little heavy head from dipping. Sometimes when you use fresh floral foam, they don't get quite as hydrated as they would prefer. The flowers themselves don't. And so I like to wire my roses, but I do that even in water. It's just a little added insurance. I like this pretty orange standard rose. I'm not exactly sure the variety of rose, but it is a pretty rose. So I'm just pulling off any of the petals that don't look pretty, just go ahead and pull those off. It is not hurting that flower. Next, we're going to come in with some pretty mums. These also came from Mary's farm, Mary's Flower Farm. I'm not exactly sure the variety, but these are so pretty. I love that little copper color in the center of these little mums. Now these really aren't a button, but they kind of are shaped a little like a button mum. Y'all forgive me. I've got a little tickle in my throat, so I keep trying to clear it to get that tickle out of there. I apologize. They're a little tender. Those little stems are a little tender, but they are so pretty. Okay, I'm going to stand back and look at it real quick, see what we need next. Okay, I don't love that these two are one on top of the other, so I'm going to move this bottom kale over a little bit. It's always a good idea when designing to always step back and look at your design and see if anything needs to move. Because when you're standing right on top of it, it's hard to see it, you know, in all of its, see the whole picture. Okay, next we're going to come in with just a few stems of this pretty orange spray rose. So this is just an orange babe. We get them a lot. And they're a good, hardy, pretty spray rose. And I think they're going to help us fill in some of those little spots where we don't have our standards. Tucked in. And they've got a little bit of a longer stem, so we'll get some height. All right, we've got a few burgundy carnations. So I think I'm going to use 3. Oh, I broke him. Sometimes these stems break. Okay, and then to pull that burgundy, we're going to add a few of these burgundy tea leaves to just pull a little more burgundy into this arrangement. I love it when you can get natural foliage in pretty colors, and to me that pretty burgundy is so nice in that tea leaf. Now the only thing about the burgundy is it doesn't show up really well from far off. So when you are designing for a church, you're going to want to not use too many dark colors. Like blues are very receding. Burgundy is a very receding color. So it's hard to see them from far off. But I love the way that burgundy kind of pulls those burgundy carnations. And honestly, it kind of makes this little mum look a little less copper and a little more burgundy. Okay, so to finish this off, we're going to add a little bit of wax flower. This is a pretty orange tinted wax flower. Wax flower does not naturally come in this orange color. In the fall, we get a lot of tinted wax because it just is so nice. And so to me, it does not look like it's tinted. Because I'm one of those that I want it to be a natural look. I don't want it to look like it's a fake color. So like, I would not prefer blue probably. I've never seen it blue, so that's why I said probably. But I really like the wax flower with this pretty orange color. So I'm just gonna take it and just sprinkle just a little bit here and there in this arrangement. just to give us a little bit of that pretty orange color here and there. Now, the flowers that we use today in this arrangement include, well, the foliage was the Robolini. We used the Parfolia eucalyptus and some baby blue eucalyptus, and then at the end we came in with these beautiful burgundy tea leaves. For the filler flower, we used Solidago and our tinted wax. For a focal flower, I used that pretty kale that Mary grew. And then these pretty orange standard roses, some burgundy carnations, some orange spray roses, Babe orange spray roses, some of these peachy orangey colored hypericum berries, and then these beautiful mums. Oh, and I forgot the Israeli ruscus that was painted the yellow. But that is our church arrangement that will be delivered to the First Presbyterian Church for service tomorrow. Guys, thank you so much for being here with me today. If you have any questions about anything that we do here, you know you are welcome to ask. You can drop that in the comments below. You can send us a message over on Facebook, or you can even email us. We'd be happy to answer any questions you might have. Guys, thank you for being here. If you have not already subscribed to our channel, hit that subscribe button for me. And if you would do me a great big favor and like this video, I would sure appreciate it. Guys, have a wonderful day.